Hypocrisy.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Lawsplaining the Interwebs. I'm your host, Nick Rekieta of Rekieta Law, a small law firm in central Minnesota. And with me tonight is my good friend, Mr. Legal Mindset.
Yes, Mr. Legal Mindset. That's exactly what I'm called. No, it's good to see everybody here. I'm happy to be here, relaxing with you, Nick, hanging out, having some fun, laughing, and not giving a shit the way the internet should be.
Well, I'm going to, fine. Now we have drama. I'm going to call you Andrew. From now on. Fine. No more Mr. for you.
That's it. Off. That's it.
You had one chance. You had one chance, and now it's gone. How you doing, man? It's been a while.
Yeah, it has. And you know, actually, somebody's tried to start drama. There's like, why were you on Nick's stream? Why are you not? I'm like, he runs his show, I run my show. If I want him on, I invite him. If he wants me on, he invites me, and it's no big deal. In fact, you invite me, and a lot of times I can't make it because I'm across the fucking continent, and I'm not a person like Jeff who doesn't sleep. That motherfucker never goes to bed.
He's an android, dude. He's like, nah. Hey guys, I sit here and I'll drink 19 more shots of whiskey. It's fine. Let's watch a trial right after this stream because I got another 20 hours in me.
It's like, dude, you got a 40-hour a week job. Like, go to work, bro. Go to work. So yeah, people were trying to start drama. Nick and Andrew hate each other. Nick and Andrew are beefing. I'm like, how gay are you guys right now? Like, how many cocks are you taking right now? Like, in all orifices are you taking right now?
Dude, there's a thirst out there for the drama. There's a thirst.
So thirsty. They're so thirsty. They need it now. And they need their fix.
Yeah. Well, it's okay because I plan on flashing my nipples at you eventually.
Oh, and that'll be acceptable.
Then we'll do it. No, it's crazy. Of course, that I always feel weird inviting you on the show because of the time zone difference. It just makes scheduling so fucking difficult. Yeah. But luckily since I run my show so late, like there are days when you can come on, which is awesome. But yeah, also
this is daytime for me, so this is perfect. I don't do anything during this period of time, you know. So this is prime.
The other good thing, or the other hard thing about it was whatchamacallit, December is just a clusterfuck of a month for me. It's like on my birthday, I got one of my kids' birthdays. We have Christmas, we have New Year's, we have two different sets of grandparents that the kids, hang out with and stuff. And it is just, and we do our Christmas. We do a Christmas with Lady Ragged's parents. We do a Christmas with my parents if they're in town or if we're in Florida. And then we also have like a greater family Christmas with Lady Ragged's entire extended family. And so it's like we do Christmas like 5 times.
Right. Right.
So December's just it's a fucking mess. But now we're in this sweet new year.
Are you ready to I'm glad we're relaxing and chilling because this is exactly what I want to do before we get into fucking insane trial goblin mode, which is about to happen in 2 weeks, where just everybody goes in their fucking trial dungeon. Yep. I'm going to be locked in there in the Korean BDSM dungeon with vices for a couple weeks, so we can tag team these hosts. But I mean, it's going to be insane. I mean, there's the Murdoch case, there's the Sarah Boone case, the suitcase murder case, there's the Abilene dumpster case, and each of us can only cover one case as they're going on at the same time. So right. I mean, everybody's going to be running trials, and it's going to be running us all ragged.
Yeah, it's going to be a mess. Dumpster Defenders is the one I'm really looking forward to, but I do hope it finishes up for at least me to have time to at least pop in and guess on the suitcase, because that one starts.
That one is
like
great.
That one starts like just really shortly after Dumpster Defenders, if I remember right. And then
it's I think the weekend. So it's like Dumpster Defenders will be going for a week, and then that starts. So
yeah,
I mean, what's your over under on the Dumpster Bros? What, 2-3 weeks?
I mean, I guess I don't know that it really should take all that long, honestly. You got a couple defense or a couple experts for the prosecution. You got your ballistics. They don't need to really prove much about the shooting. It's admitted. I mean, they'll have to put the elements down, but it's not like going to be a complex cross. We know the bullets, unless they're going to try and argue that each other's bullets didn't kill the guy or something, like some weird dual theory. But I don't, since
Like-
they're having the trial at the same time, I don't think they're going to do anything dumb like that. Like, you can't prove it was my client's bullet that killed him.
Right.
It was the other guy. And then the other guy says the same thing.
Well, Bronco was talking about that today. He was talking about, like, technically, so let's say like one guy shoots somebody and kills him, and then the other guy comes up and shoots him. Technically, the second guy, if the guy's dead, if he's straight up dead, that's technically like desecration of a corpse or kind of violation.
Right.
Of a corpse. So it's a lesser penalty, but it's still a crime.
And they have to charge it. They also, they have to actually get that to be one of the charges rather than charging them with murder. But who knows? I don't know, man. These, if they even, I technically don't even know if they're broadcasting it. That would be a shame. I think
that's the thing that I was there for, because I know that I think Suitcase is definitely going to be broadcast, and I think because that's in Orlando, much like the Casey Anthony trial anywhere else, I think that one's going to get broadcast for sure. We're super transparent about the trials in Florida. Florida's had almost all the trial streams, so I don't see that varying in Orlando. So that one will go. I know Murdaugh is going to be televised, but so that would be the one that wouldn't be of the three potential cases going on.
Wait, so Murdaugh, I thought his was federal. Am I
No,
thinking
son. It is.
Oh, I'm thinking of Daybell,
South Carolina. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking of Daybell as a federal case. So you got Murdaugh, but then you also have Courtney Clenney coming up, right?
That's February. Now here's the thing.
February.
She has a hearing then. We're not sure whether or not that hearing is going to transform into a trial date yet. So technically it's still on the docket as a hearing. We don't have a trial date, but that will come up. And as soon as that comes up and that goes, that's going to be huge as well. I've been on that one like a giant pair of fake OnlyFans fans tits. I mean, that one is going to get all of my coom. It's going to be great.
What's amazing is how good she looks on like the done up pictures and how terrible she looks elsewhere.
Nick, that is standard. That is the OnlyFans catfish, guys. If you only know. See, guys, if next time you go and you're fapping to those OnlyFans girls, just think they look like Courtney Clenney. In reality, they're Courtney Clenney.
Yeah, it's a bunch of makeup. Sometimes it's filters, depending on what kind of content they're doing. A lot of very intentional angles on this stuff, especially with like their Instagram fishing pictures, right? Like, come to my OnlyFans for this thing. But that's just the reality. But like, I don't mind makeup so much. I think it's okay.
That's fine.
My wife barely wears any, but when she does, it's nice.
Well, she doesn't need it. So,
she looks good without it. Not everybody does. But I also don't like mind that women put it on. I just find the contrast between the two stark. Like, it's crazy. And if I were her, I would try and find a nice middle ground for the trial where she looks like attractive, but not like a whore. But she also shouldn't look horrible. Like, in my opinion, like because
should it look horrible?
If she looks like a monster, dude, they're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, this bitch definitely was stabbing a guy. He's probably trying to run away."
She looks like Warmos. I mean, she's looking like Eileen Warmos almost up in here. I mean, the thing is that for her image is part of her business. And it's different if it's just a girl, right? Like, so for example, if it's a girl that I go out on a Friday night and I hook up with, and I see her with makeup then, and we hook up when she's wearing makeup, and I never see her again. She doesn't wash her face in front of me, and then all of a sudden, a year later,
before she wakes up,
a year later,
he just admits it.
a year later, I see a photo of her without makeup, and she's a goblin. She's an absolute. She's like belongs in a D&D session with you and Quarter Black. She's like that bad. Like she rolled a 1 on her stats. Like, this is 100%. So you see that, but it's a year after. You're like, do I really care? Like, that's
maybe she got in a terrible car accident. You don't know.
You don't know. Yeah. but for Courtney Clenney, when you're actively grifting, when that is your grift is the looks, you do have to put some work into it.
Yeah. And I just think that they're specifically for women. It's true for men too, but I think it's more true for women, especially depending on the jury and the judge that you get, that treading a very fine line of attractiveness without looking, not looking like you're done up for the fucking Met Ball or whatever, but just a nice sort of normal level of attractiveness is really, really important and critical. And I think especially when it is your business to do OnlyFans, I think it's good to show up presenting as like conventionally attractive as opposed to OnlyFans done up, and also as opposed to Goblin. That middle ground is critical. And there is a middle ground.
No, it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be great. There's going to be so much spin on it. So it's going to be fantastic. You're going to get the SJWs coming out there. You're going to get the simps coming out there. It's going to be fantastic. So I think that's going to be one that that really will test again people's, ability to tell the truth and tell lies. Because I think there's going to be a lot of people incentivized to lie for Courtney Clenney and to, present false facts for Courtney Clenney.
Yeah. And it's there's so much to that. Like, for example, we're going to have admissibility issues with the previous assaults and stuff like that. Are they relevant? I mean, for the social media, her previously assaulting him might be relevant. For the trial case, technically not, right? Like, or possibly it's an argument. It's an argument.
How does that impact her claim of self-defense, right? Which is what she's going to go with here. Like, how does that change her as a self-defense analysis? And by the way, if Bronca comes on for that, the internet's going to break. I'm just saying.
Oh my God.
It's just like, it's fucking over.
This whore's out here stabbing men.
I'm going to be arrested in Romania after that one. After that one, my Bugatti is going to be gone.
Oh, man.
It'll be over.
Wait, so did Tate actually have a Bugatti or was it rented?
I don't know. I don't know. But the Romanian authorities said they seized all the cars and shit. So, they've got it.
I imagine he did. He probably had a bunch of money.
There's no way he did not. I mean, knowing at least some of the things that are like can be confirmed, like just if you look at the courses he was selling, you can sell an online course and make a pretty penny. So even just the courses, I think he could afford the luxury.
Yeah. I didn't know how much. I didn't even know he did. Like, I didn't follow Andrew Tate at all. And so I get all this, like, people start talking about this stuff. I'm like, what the fuck is Hustler University? And first of all, I mean, I get it, but I wouldn't attend a Hustler University. Like, that just
but to be fair, though, to be fair,
to my mixtape.
But to be fair, Nick, to be completely fair, like when we use the word grifter, we use it as a badge of honor, right? But if somebody just a normie off the street heard us talking about grifting, they would think, oh, these guys are scam artists, right? They're talking about scamming people. Right. They don't understand the context of that.
Right. And so for Andrew Tate, I'm sure like the hustler part is like, that's part of his brand. And I get it. Like
but hustle culture, it leans into that trope, Yeah. I mean, it is a thing.
But it's just like, to me, it just sounds like, again, it sounds like, hey, listen to my mixtape. It's fire. It's like, all right, cool. Thanks, buddy. But I don't know. What's your read on that? Because I haven't followed it. And what I had heard about this shit with the like forced pornography and all that stuff.
I don't believe that for a second, by the way. I don't believe that anybody was forced to do any of that stuff. That's what I don't believe at all. At all.
Sure.
Like zero.
When I had heard they had like dealt with this years ago. That's what I had that was the impression I was under. So then he gets arrested for it. And to me, it looks like he fought with the elite, and you can't fight with the elite. You can't fight with the Greta Thunberg.
Yeah, I'm thinking they got him on a financial crime somewhere because, as you know, like wire fraud is how you get everybody. I'm sure they did some gay European wire fraud, and they can nail him on that.
Speaking of selling online courses, that's one thing you have to be really careful with, selling things online, because that becomes, well, at least in the US, that becomes federal wire fraud really quickly if you're not delivering exactly what you're promising.
Even worse, if you live an international lifestyle, and I can understand this too. Are you reporting it correctly? Are you sure? Are you really sure? Are you reporting it to America and to the country you're in? Are you perhaps paying double taxation? Are you doing all that? Have you hired a really fucking good accountant? Because if you haven't, at any point, you might be fucked.
Well, the IRS might just disagree. Like that's the worst part. So I know a couple people who do accounting work and legal tax work for extremely rich people. And you can ask them a question and their answer is, well, right now the best practice is, and you're talking about people with hundreds of millions of dollars and how they are reporting things, how they're doing things, how they're classifying stuff. And it's like, your best answer is, this is what we think works, but the IRS hasn't actually answered. So you could be criminally liable, even though you're trying, like you're paying someone thousands and thousands of dollars to do something right, and you do it and you do your best effort. And then the IRS is still like, yeah, nah, that's a felony. Have fun.
Yep. They can still get you. Like, even after all that, they're like, you know what? We've changed our stance on this. We've changed our stance on crypto, right? You know, because I know that's part of it. You know, he's a big involved with crypto. It's like, oh yeah, we changed our stance. You didn't report your crypto correctly, so now you're fucked, right? So I mean, like, there's something they'll get them on. So I don't think though it's running the cam girls, because frankly, you know, you have certain degrees of separation there. Also, you know, that's how OnlyFans is run. I mean, I know people don't like to hear this, but when you're there fapping, talking to a guy who's talking dirty, they're sexting you through OnlyFans. It's a gay dude, right? It's a dude in Sweden, right? Who's there talking to you. It's not the girl. You think you're talking to Courtney Clenney. You're talking to a dude in
She
Stockholm.
don't have time to talk to the other 50,000 paid subscribers.
How is she going to do that?
Yeah, she promises you messaging or whatever at whatever. I don't know if she actually does. But I know some of these girls promise messaging at various tiers, and it's like you look at their subscriber numbers, and there's coming from someone who doesn't have like tiered messaging, but just has a decent amount of subscribers, and you know too, like it becomes unmanageable really fast.
Can't even check it. You can't even check it yourself. It's not possible. If I wanted to do it, like I say, every single comment, I do it when I can. I do it when I have time. I do it when I can pop in. But can I catch everything? No, I can't. Frankly, I just can't. So if I miss something or ignore it, you know, sorry.
It's personal.
Sorry, I didn't delete that one comment when they called you a troon, Nick. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't catch that one. I'm sorry.
My troon arc isn't complete yet.
Yes. There's more arcs to come for Rakeda Law. He's transitioning again.
Well, thank God. I can hopefully transition into federal immunity from whatever crime I've probably committed. But no, it's wild. So Andrew Tate and
by the way, trying to cover it as an American, like, okay, I'm abroad, but I can tell you right now, like, other countries have wildly different legal systems that don't follow the same rules and regulations, and there's politics involved because, you know, this is, you know, EU adjacent, but also it's corrupt because it's Romania, but also it's, you know.
No, I trust the Romanian government and their legal system implicitly.
Come the fuck on. Like that's why he was there. He even openly said, I mean, Tate's even openly said, look, I like Romania because it's corrupt and you can just pay people off, right? I mean, that's and there's an argument to that, right? There's an argument to going to a country where if you're a rich person and you're in trouble, you can be like, okay, I'll just pay you. Like, go the fuck away.
That's what the Russian oligarchs do. Most of them don't live anywhere near Russia because, well, one, Russia's a frozen hellhole.
Yes. And they want that good Dubai, you know,
the good
stuff. The good. Yeah, the good Dubai good. We're still on YouTube. I'm trying to behave a little bit.
Yeah.
How long before you transition?
About 40 minutes till we transition over to Rumble. Speaking of which, we should cover quick announcements. Of course, tomorrow I'm going to be on your show at 6 p.m. Central Time.
Yeah, right? 6 p.m. Central, 7 Standard. Yep, 7 Eastern. Yeah. So
I will be on your show. Before that, though, I'm going to be on with Critical Drinker on I think it's called the Happy Hour show. Critical Drinker will be there. That's at 3 p.m. Central. So tomorrow I have a busy day. It's Drinker, it's Mindset, and then it's my own show at night. So that's going to be very fun. And then Friday is going to be the panel show of a bunch of people just sitting around telling jokes, which I'll send you an invite for if you have time. Pop in. And it's Friday, Saturday. I think it's Saturday for you there.
Fridays are always like, that's the problem. People want me to show up on Fridays. I'm like, that's my one free day that I do things on my own because I have the whole day off.
So I'll send you a link and you're welcome to pop in if you can. If you can't, no worries, of course. But that's the rest of the week for me is that. What do you got going on this week, man?
So I mean, other than you coming on, I was not planning to do much on Friday. I'm kind of getting ready for next week. I'm going to have we got a crazy crew already reporting in for Monday's Pipcast. Drex is coming back with Willem and Johnny. It's going to be fantastic. We're going to talk about making hoes great again. That's going to be fantastic. It's going to be perfect. Mwah. So tune in for that. And then trial previews. I'll be doing trial previews for all the trials coming up the following week. So
Wilhelm doesn't know how to make anything great again, except he can take the cheese grater to his girlfriend and help her bulk up a little bit.
Say what you will about Wilhelm, But that motherfucker, while we're streaming, had this woman put a plate of food in front of him, clanked that shit down the table. I mean, he pulled the receipt. I'm like, you know what? This man's eating good. Like, I'm not like you can shit on him all you want. Where's your plates of food during the stream?
There's no shitting on him. No shitting on him. His
he might enjoy that.
His.
He might enjoy that.
Yeah. I'm glad there's a man standing in the gap.
He's doing the Lord's work. He's doing the Lord's work.
I wish I knew where that picture was. I posted this picture on Twitter, and it was
I've got so many Drex memes now.
It's
like overwhelming.
No, it's the fucking cartoon. There's a guy sleeping in bed all peacefully, and then there's a dude standing there like this with like a bunch of arrows and shit in his back guarding him. And it was like the guy sleeping is white men, and then the guy guarding is black men, and then all the arrows and shit was fat white women. Like,
oh no.
I put that shit up on Twitter and people got mad about it. I was like, this is funny though.
Yeah, I'll give him something to be mad about real quick. Here's a good one that got shared with me after the Chubby Chaser stream. This is all William. Aye, she be a whale, but the hour be late and her blowhole be wet.
No.
They edit quickly. That was a good one from the stream.
Oh shit. Here's a good one. This is a Drex meme. Locals has started with
the degeneracy has started. Okay, good.
Look at this. He's not there at all.
Oh shit. Oh shit. People aren't ready. People are not ready when Donkey goes in. We were talking about OnlyFans the other day. I was interviewing one of my friends who's a porn star, and like they were talking about 401ks for OnlyFans, and Bronca comes in. He's like, you can do that as an independent contractor. Like, I bet these
it's a simplified employee pension. Do an SEP.
I'm like, you know way too much about OnlyFans girls and 401ks, Bronca. What do I need to know? What do I need to know? What do you need to tell me?
SEPs are awesome. You can it's like, I think the limits are up to like 65 grand now, and you have until you file to deposit, I think. So if you file an extension, you can sock away like 65 grand for the previous year up until like October 15th. It's nuts.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Yeah. OnlyFans girls, find a tax attorney real quick, get your deductions in.
But let's be real.
If you have sex with a stick shift car, you could probably write it off.
This is the exact reason why I think they agree to do these things, because they're like, look, I just want to show up, have big titties, and make content. Like, that's all I want to do. You do everything else, and you let them take a cut for that, because that's a lot of shit. Accounting, finance, admin, the back end, the website. There's a lot of work that goes in. And if you say, look, a person like Tate who has an operation, say, look, you take 25, you maybe even take 50%. It's worth it, because all you got to do is show up and show your titties. Like, that's the possibly of all the jobs on earth, the nexus between the amount of money you can make and the effort is massive.
Well, that's what in a completely different way, back when the whole when Playboard hit. When Playboard hit and YouTube had its API for tracking super chats, and Playboard put up the scoreboard and everything, and everybody got to see how much money everybody made and all that stuff, which I thought was really cool. What was crazy to see was how much money the VTubers made.
The VTubers are nuts.
They got their houses cleaned though. Like they go way up, and then like it's like cut in half the next year and shit like that. But with the thing that a lot of people didn't realize with the VTubers is half of their income went to HoloLive.
Yeah.
So they had a 50% cut following YouTube's 30% cut. And it was like, oh man, that's a lot. But then you look at like what HoloLive did for them. They did everything, all of the promotion. They even generated the character backstory. They owned the IP of the character. So they just needed the performer to come in there, do the mocap, do the voices, be entertaining. And that's what these people wanted to do. And then HoloLive managed everything. And that 50%, these people still made $1 million, right? Like they still worth it.
So right, exactly. So that's still worth it, even with them taking that. That's why people continue to do things. Even if you said, "Hey, we're going to give you a third," but you don't have to do anything. You're like, "I'm going to just take the third." That's the easy way. You're like, you know what? I get to live a nice life. I get this money. Yeah, I could make 3 times, but I've got to do that then, and I don't know how to do that. I don't.
And
want
the
to
marketing is the hard part, because HoloLive has a place and a referral network for people to go find new talent. If you're just a VTuber starting out on YouTube, there's every chance in the world that no one will ever see your stupid video in your entire life. And you're not going to make $1 million, no matter how talented you are, if the YouTube algorithm doesn't bless you a little bit.
Speaking of which, have you seen Hayden's horrible attempt at VTubing? Aussie
Nope,
Overlord.
I have not.
Oh my God. He's got like this soulless black-eyed kangaroo VTube. It's bad. It's really bad. Yeah.
Is there a clip of this?
I would have to find it somewhere, but he came on a stream. I think it went members only because we were it was a late night stream. Let's put it that way. It wasn't on my channel, somebody else's channel, but it was scary.
Oh man, no, I've never seen him I've only ever seen him upside down tubing. Like I have.
You can invite him on, but say he's got to VTube the entire time. You got to say he has to VTube the entire time. That's all. That's the only way you're gonna allow him on your channel at all.
If anybody's got that, let me know. We will have to roast some Hayden VTubing if necessary. I like that guy. He's hilarious.
No, I love Hayden. He's amazing. He's amazing. I mean, he does live on a fictional land because Australia doesn't exist, but
right.
It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, he's a Fed, but Feds can be friends.
Yeah.
Just
like
ask. Sometimes they open the door for you. On occasion. On special occasions.
Did you see the initial extradition hearing for the suspected Idaho murderer, Brian Koberger? The feds that were lined up in the background were like radioactive glowing. It was like this lineup of feds in like the suits, just with that look, they're all staying the same way. It was perfect.
And they're all uncomfortable because they're not in cargo shorts and polos. They're like,
and they're on TV. They're uncomfortable because they're on TV. They do not like being on TV because they're not televised. They get to say whatever lies they want to say in court, and they have no accountability.
Yeah. No, I did not see that. I heard there's I was talking with someone. Who was it? It doesn't matter. They brought up an interesting point about that, though. It kind of looks like maybe the feds asked the state police to pull over a car pretextually. And in a normal case, that would probably be an issue. In this case, I don't think so, because it's an alleged serial killer. And they're not going to let it go.
They're not going to let this one go. And I think that if this suspect, people say, oh, well, there could be another suspect. I'm like, if this guy isn't it, they're not finding anybody else. The feds, the state, everybody else is emotionally, mentally committed to this, to the point where you're getting law enforcement and the feds have already said, hey, we think this person is guilty, until the gag order came out, which is why the gag order had to come out, because so many people were saying, yeah, he's guilty for sure. And the violation of due process, the shitting on due process. I said, look, even if the evidence is leading us, even if what we see is leading us to believe that, this guy deserves due process too. And if we hold that true for Kyle Rittenhouse, if we hold that true for Johnny Depp, for everybody else, we need to hold that true for everybody. Period. End of story. Be fucking consistent, or else you're no better than they are. You're literally no better than they are.
Right. It was Rob from Law and Lumber. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you to the locals chat who helped me out with that. Buzzian. My man, some days.
It happens, man. It happens. You're going crazy. I mean, are you going to try to take it easy next week before you go into trial mode? Or like, when you're going to go into trial mode, do you have like a chakra you do? Like, do you have like a dance, like some sort of, preparation?
No, I'm stupid. I just do whatever I'm going to do. And then, oh yeah, I'm starting the trial today. Shit. Actually, it's like the night before. It's like 5 a.m. It's like, oh God, wait, I got to wake up at 9.
Okay. That I can identify with. That's pretty much how I ended up doing it. I'm trying to be a little bit better this time. We'll see how badly that fails, but
yeah, no, there's, I'm sure there's a great way to do it. I'm going to try this year to be better about how I manage trial times. 'Cause for Depp, I was doing the Depp show, and then I would do my own night show every night, just about. And like I burned everything up, and I was miserable by the end of it.
That's my take. That's my take, because I felt the same way. I was like, I cannot do like a full length show and do the trial coverage and do recaps and make sure everything is getting clipped. It's like I got to pick my battles. I got to say, hey, I'm gonna cover the trial. Maybe I'll do a brief recap. But during a trial week, frankly, sorry, but that's the regular show. I'll do locals exclusive content because that's just us hanging out, being with our ride or die supporters. That's fine.
That's easy stuff. You just sit there and talk, and it's beautiful because you can talk immediately. There's no delay. I love doing local streams. They're like a Zen piece.
Yeah. No, I do want it. I do want it either as a pregame or an after party, because I think that's the best way to say, hey, look, do you guys like this? Do you not like this? What questions you have? Because they're the people that are supporting the most. And frankly, I say, if anybody wants to support me anywhere, go to locals, right?
Yep.
Then right now it's locals, right? Until I've got something else to grift off of, that's the best way to support me.
Speaking of which, guys, I am going to hopefully have Dick Masterson on very soon, as he has created another Patreon alternative. He had originally created one that was a sort of a traditional model of Patreon called New Project 2. It got shut down because of something with MasterCard putting him on the match list and just saying, fuck you. You can't do that. They don't ever tell you why that happens. They just did it. So that was nice. But his new backed.buy program uses Bitcoin, or it uses cryptocurrency, I should say. I'm not sure if it's specific to Bitcoin. It bypasses banks, and it is a way to privately transact with people you want to privately transact with. And it appears to be really difficult to individually cancel at this point. So I'm going to hopefully have him on to discuss that in the very, very near future.
And honestly, that's always the use case I've seen for crypto, like as a technology, right? Blockchain as a technology. I've always said that's where it's going to get. It's uncancelable, right? Like there's ways to implement it and create systems that are uncancelable by the apparatus, right? At least for now, until the regulatory authorities come down and make it really difficult. But at the end of the day, it's adding that extra layer of difficulty for them to do that. So yeah, for sure. I mean, that's exactly where we need to go, because the fact that Visa, MasterCard, and American Express can shut down pretty much anybody. It's scary. How do you book a flight?
How do you? I was trying to point this out because I was arguing with Ty about this a long time ago.
Ty Beard?
Yeah, Ty Beard, because he's like, well, Nick, they can just regulate it, and I was like, but they're not gonna, and two, they're not gonna because they're scared. Because what if MasterCard stops processing automatic transfers for the government? Like, what if they just pull that flex? And it's like, well, they can nationalize MasterCard, I guess. Kind of. It's an international company.
Like, I don't think they can do that, though. I mean,
they could seize U.S. assets, I guess, and MasterCard would still control the rest of the world's banking. Like, they'd have so much trouble doing any of this stuff.
But here's the thing: even a one-day disruption while they're trying to sort this. Let's say that the U.S. can get the upper hand, but there'll be 1 day of disruption in the U.S. economy. Think about all the loss of faith that individuals around the world would have in the U.S. economy. They would divest of U.S. assets. They would pull U.S. bonds. They would pull U.S. equities. They would sell, whatever they've got in the United States. And they'd say, we're going to put this elsewhere where this shit's not going down. So that's the real.
Yeah. And it's really terrifying how much power they have. And I don't think crypto is the ultimate solution. Like, I don't think you're going to replace our fiat currency system with a crypto purchasing system.
That's delusional. That's delusional.
Yeah. It's going to get worked in alongside. It'll get regulated. It'll be terrifying. But the idea that you can maybe have a system where you can just easily privately transfer money without an actual middleman, if you have the technical savvy to do so, basically makes it like cash in a way. It's not fully cash. Obviously, there's nothing in hand, but it gives you this potential ability to move money from one party to another without someone saying, well, I don't think you should give them money. Like, that's That's what the whole idea is to me for crypto. But
and that's why they're afraid of it, because the Karens out there are not going to be able to go to the manager. The manager's like, what the fuck can I do about this? We saw it during the trucker protest. They kept trying, and it's like whack-a-mole, you know? Yeah, they can try to contact, you know, Coinbase or whatever and get certain wallets, you know, in trouble or delisted or whatever, but they can just start a new wallet. They can just go to a different platform. They can just exchange through a different
and the cool thing is, if you have the technical know-how, you don't need a Coinbase. Like, you get your wallet set up, and you can do direct wallet to wallet transfers.
You can have a hard wallet, or a cold wallet rather, you know, that's not even online.
Ooh, I didn't know that. Oh yeah, because you can just have it on like a. It's risky though.
I mean, yeah,
like,
but
people lose their damn encryption keys.
Yeah, but like, come and get it. You know, it's like, yeah, they're like, this is worth $1 million, right? But like, come and get it though. Like, I'm also saying, you know,
right. Come and take it, like Texas, baby. But no, this has been a subject I've been hammering on forever, because if we saw, the first time I saw it was Jihad Watch getting thrown off of Patreon. And then it came out that MasterCard had reached out to Patreon and said, hey, we want you to remove this content creator from your platform, or else we stop processing for Patreon. And if Patreon doesn't have online payments, Patreon doesn't have business. And that's the threat. And if you think that threat isn't going to come eventually to everywhere, that's something that we need to prepare for, because it'll come to your grocery store.
Oh yeah, it's only a matter of time. All the stuff that we're seeing, all the stuff we're seeing out front, and the thing is, Nick, you and I, we're catching the heat at the front end of it, right?
Right.
When the normies aren't going to get it till later, right? They're the ones who aren't speaking up and their voice isn't loud. They're not going to get it till later. It's going to come for them, but not yet. They'll come.
Here's the model. Here's how it starts. Okay, so the New York gun law. Have you seen this thing? So
which one is this? Is this the red flag decision? Is this the
no? This is the Concealed Carry Improvement Act, right? And so this thing has been at the district court level. They have struck down parts of the law, but the appeals court level says that the law must remain in effect until it's fully resolved. And so then they shot that up to the Supreme Court, asking them to intervene and say, no, we want these provisions struck while we want the order enforced until it's fully resolved. And the Supreme Court says no. So the law is in effect. But what I really wanted to grab based on what we were talking about here is this. Okay, here we go. U.S. District Judge Glenn Sadabi, in a November 7 ruling, struck down a number of provisions of the law, including one that bars firearms in a wide range of sensitive locations, such as healthcare facilities, churches, parks, entertainment venues, and other places where people gather. He also blocked a provision that requires gun owners to show good moral character in order to obtain a license, and another that Sudabi said was sweeping ban on firearms and private property open to the public. Okay, wait, they left out the part that I wanted to talk about. So get the fuck off there. You have to provide all of your social media accounts to the government that you've had or operated in the past 3 years.
That's ridiculous. Because once again, that's so burdensome on speech to try to. I mean, you're getting a fundamental right DP. You know, you're depriving them of their 2A rights and their First Amendment rights. And the thing is, look, we for years we've treated speech like it's a fundamental right. We've acknowledged that, right? But the Supreme Court has said, hey, look at Heller over here. Look at our decisions. We said right to carry, fundamental right, but they're just tactically ignoring that.
Quite fundamental.
It's not fundamental enough. Is it really?
Yeah. So but what people don't realize is, because some people are like, well, yeah, I mean, I guess, if you want to pass along social media accounts for a background check, make sure the guy's not saying, oh, I'm going to go shoot up a school or whatever. That makes some sense. Like, you can kind of work your way there. But no, that's how it starts. That's how it starts, where people are then becoming used to being required to provide social media. And then what happens with this stuff is it matriculates down. And we saw this with the anti-terrorism shit after 9/11. It matriculates down, and it always goes into the normal public and into their lives. So what you're going to have to do eventually, since you'll be giving your social media account to the government for guns, and then for cars, and then for whatever else you want to do. You're going to just have
Banking.
to, right. It's going to be banking, and it's going to be your grocery store or your Walmart or whatever. There'll be a nice handy app where you put your phone on it, and through NFC, it just grabs all your social media accounts. And if you don't do it, you don't get to buy your stuff. And that will come eventually. It's inevitable. And they're already pushing that sort of shit at the government level. It's only going to get worse.
No, it's already here. Biden's already come out and said central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, is a platform we are pursuing. We are going to be pushing this. They've already said that. That's initial. When he came into office, it was within, I think, a month or two. He put out his position on CBDCs being a main target. Mind you, this is the same thing that's used by China, where they can flip of a switch. Everything's mobile payment, digital yuan, digital dollar, flip of a switch. Some gay Fed boy in his office doesn't like what you said on Twitter. Push the button, your money's turned off. Your entire bank, everything is closed.
Yep. I see a guy in Rumble, Epicus says, get rid of your phones now and it won't happen. If you don't bring your phone, you won't be able to buy.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Digital. I mean, look what happened during Corona. We don't take cash, right? We don't take cash. That's what everybody said. And we took it sitting down. We sat down on a giant cock of Fauci's advice and we spun around on it and said, yes, sir, please more. Like we allowed it to happen. They've allowed us to say, oh, you don't need cash. Why do you need cash? What do you need cash for? Do it all on your credit card. Now we're controlled by MasterCard, Visa, American Express. Go even further. Oh, you don't need a credit card. Just use your mobile phone. You've got all your dollars there on your mobile phone. Oh, well, now it's all controlled by Uncle Sam, right? And then boom, you're done. It's over.
And it's not, it doesn't matter how much you resist. Nobody else will. That's the
whole point. 90% of people are like, okay, that's fine. Sounds cool. It's convenient.
Yep. It'll be a mess. It'll be a requirement. And they're not going to target you. They're going to target the businesses. They're going to target them. That's how the banking, this is my problem with like crypto as a normal currency is that the banking systems Visa, MasterCard themselves already has a patent for point of sale translation of crypto to fiat currency. That means that when you go to take your cool like crypto wallet to buy groceries, like you're going to either use your phone or you're going to use like a crypto linked card or whatever. Mm-hmm. The person who owns the technology that will be in the stores making that happen is MasterCard. And so if they want to do it, your crypto's not going to work either. And they'll threaten the store. Look, if you don't accept this term of service, if you don't accept this, we don't do point of sale transactions in your store. You can't bank. And the store then can't sustain because not enough people are going to bring in cash to do it. And when they bring the cash to their bank, guess what? They'll be kicked out of the bank. They don't have to target individual Americans. They just have to go to every choke point, every point of sale.
Right, every point of sale, every transfer, yeah, and also where you're transferring over fiat to crypto. That's your issue. It's like, okay, that's fine, but at some point, let's pretend you can do a lot of things online. Let's say you can pay for a lot of shit online. Because here's what could happen, right? So, okay, the U.S. has those choke points. Well, guess what? Kazakhstan is probably not going to have those choke points. So you transact digitally using Kazakhstani servers, right? You do everything in crypto, everything online. But at some point, you're going to need to get money into that country and transfer it to somebody else directly. And that's when you need that cash, when you need those hard assets, that's when it's going to be really difficult. So it's coming, but that's a whole new world of problems. I feel like because of these problems, we gotta just chill and relax and watch some funny shit, Nick.
Yeah, we do. But I have to wait until we're on Rumble. We're really watch the funny shit on Rumble. But we'll get there. I have a couple quick hit sort of traditional news things.
Okay, TradCon news. Got it. TradCon news with Nick Rickett.
You're gonna do that for a little bit, and then we'll get into.
All right,
we'll get into the.
I'll pretend to be Trad. Okay, yes, PragerU. Let's do it.
Yeah. Well, hear about this. This is actually good news. This is good news, right? Have you seen this? You heard about this? Hold on. I fucking hate that. Okay, I wish I could just, when I'm sharing a screen, I wish I could just turn the audio sharing on after the fact as opposed to taking it down. But all right, so here we go. So you heard Illinois has banned assault style weapons, right? Like that just passed.
Yeah, I did. They passed assault style. Also, it's a mag limit. It's 10 for long rifles and 15 for handguns.
Yeah, there you go. Good job. Good
That'll
job,
that'll.
Illinois.
I'm sure all the criminals are going to abide by that. I'm
Right.
absolutely positive.
So here we go.
It's going to head towards the courts. It
Yeah.
seems like there's no other option. But right now, we're now up to 14 sheriffs who say they will not enforce this ban. They say
Ooh.
it's unconstitutional, and the governor's office says those sheriffs are violating their oaths.
Nope.
One day after Governor J.B. Pritzker signed the Protect Illinois.
Jamie Pritzker. This is Jamie Pringles. Look at this guy.
He's Jamie.
His head looks like biscuit dough squeezing out of a popped can. What are you doing, man?
Like he is the deep dish. Like he defines the deep dish.
Holy shit.
By the way, they banned they delayed the purge law because I know you've talked about that before, right? They delayed it, I think, a couple months, right? And while they're reviewing it.
Well, Drex is so excited for the purge law that I had to bust him down and let him know that it wasn't actually going to go into effect. That broke his heart.
I know he's ready. He's ready to go into like post-war Chicago as a warlord, you know, and just let all these German shepherds come to him. You know, I mean,
I've never seen this man like be overtly violent towards anyone. I'm like, why do you want the purge? You don't even own guns. What are you gonna do? Steal them, I guess. Oh shit! Prince Vibe says, "Toast my 43rd birthday.
oh shit.
Exercise changed my life, got me off my cane. I at least look better than a suitcase killer, Instagram slasher, and Lori roast me so I never go back. Shared pic to Instagram to my favorite duos." Oh, wait. Do you want me to pull up your picture on stream, Prince Vibes? I don't know if...
I don't know if you want it on stream, but...
Let me take a look at the...
Don't be a fat fuck. I'll cheers. Cheers to not being a fat fuck. I'll do that one for you.
Yeah, we'll do that. I'm waiting. You sent it to me on Instagram. Oh, shit. But I don't see it. Oh wait. Yeah, I'm not gonna pull it up. We'll just roast you anyway. We'll assume that you're fat. Hold on. I got a new bottle of whiskey to open real quick.
Yeah, I'll assume that you had to turn over on your backside and drop into a pool of water for your orca ass to procreate. But you know, who knows?
They must
Who knows?
come to me. If you lay down on top of a woman, it'd be a war crime, buddy. Like, what are you doing?
I just learned the other day about this drug that apparently a lot of people who do gay porn are actually straight, but they inject this drug directly into themselves to get themselves, let's say, YouTube friendly, capable of performing for 3 to 4 hours.
Oh,
Yeah. So I'm assuming that your fat ass how to mainline in order to get anywhere. Get your shit together.
Can you put it in other muscles? Like, can I just shove that into my shoulders so they balloon up for like going out for the evening?
It'll just be rigid. Your shoulder will be like rigid.
We're gonna try some of that. No, I've heard that about if people don't know, guys who like have that dream, like, oh, I'm gonna go be a porn star or whatever.
Right.
You don't start out with women, bro. That's not where they start you.
Most of the time, yeah. Most of the time.
Yeah, unless you are some kind of magic, where they start you is with dudes, and you get to do your you get to pay your penance, so to speak, and have fun. That does not sound like a good career move, because Peter North got shit for that one time. Like, he was on a live interview and someone's like, wait, didn't you start out doing gay porn? He's like, fuck you, I had to. Like,
well, that's like the saying your thing you're not supposed to say, right? Like how did you get that job in Hollywood? It's like,
look, I'm still
look,
recovering.
See this bucket behind me? It used to be filled full of Weinstein semen, but not anymore.
Let's see, is it I am looking. Will Instagram work for me today? No, that's not it. Oh, here we go. I've got his wait. Oh, that's a feet. That's a lady.
You got feet pics?
Wait a minute. So, Prince Vibes, are you a lady? Is that what it is? Is that what this is? Because I did get a new message and it's a picture of a woman. So, I wasn't planning on
Is it
pulling
a
that up on stream.
A fat woman.
No, actually not.
Then maybe it's not the right photo.
I have no idea. Let's just do this. So toast to your 43rd birthday. I am glad actually that exercise is changing your life. I think it's fantastic. I think everybody should get into that. I've got a new sponsor coming next week that will be talking more about exercise and healthy living a little bit.
I think I may have the same sponsor.
Probably.
Yeah.
We'll see. But no, I'm again, cheers to you. Getting up and working and moving yourself is honestly like what you need to do. I got an email from Anthony Dream Johnson the other day that said,
"Oh God, fuck that guy." I know. I have a story about that guy.
Yeah, I know, but he had one bit of wisdom in there. It was just fucking walk. Like, just get up and start walking. Do something. And I'm glad that your something is working out for you to at least 43 more years. And hopefully many more. Cheers to you. Happy birthday.
Cheers.
That guy, when I got the email about him getting married and then the follow-up email about his fiance being pregnant, I was just laughing. I was like, wait a minute. And then he went through this whole like thing, kind of rolling back when I assume are everything he said about marriage over the past like 10 years.
Yeah. Well, he actually was always lying. I remember going on a Bumble date in Orlando, and I went to this bar, and this is back when he was running his 21 Studios thing and talking about Jose and shit and talking about Salt Daddy game, which is being a sugar daddy but not paying, which is which is a license, by the way, to get shot. But especially in Florida, like you're gonna get shot. But never mind. So he's talking about all this stuff. He's flexing, doing his typical Jack Murphy stuff. So I go on a date with this girl, and she's like, thank you for being normal. I'm like, yes, and like we're just having a drink, like whatever, like may not work out or not, you know. And she's like, the last date I went was so weird. I'm like, what happened? It's well, this guy, like his profile picture is just so weird. Let me show it to you. And she shows me the profile, and it's Anthony Dream Johnson holding a baby. That is his Bumble profile. And this motherfucker.
Wait, what's Bumble? It's like Tinder or something.
It's like Tinder, but it's like the girls get to choose who they match with, so they get like there's more control because it's like a swamp of dicks. It's like the chat roulette of if you were on chat roulette back in the day, all you would see was a sea of dicks. Anyways,
wait, so Bumble is a swamp of dicks or Tinder?
No, Tinder.
Oh,
so
okay,
they get to, so they can filter a little bit better. So they tend to prefer that. So met through Bumble. Went on a date with this girl. Shows me Anthony Dream Johnson's picture. I'm like, what the fuck? This guy's making content. He's one of these manosphere guys, whatever. And he's got a picture of his baby. And I see his text messages. And it's like, I just want to make you into a godly woman. I just want to have a family. I just want somebody who I can marry and settle down with. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And she's like, oh yeah. And he invited me over to his house, but I wouldn't go. So he FaceTimed. And he was in like a room with like a bunch of Zelda posters and like, it was just like very, very like an odd background. There's like a Trump hat next to like a Zelda poster. and I just think of like Lofty when I think of Zelda. So like, you know, like the femboy.
Since I'm just like,
I just can't get Lofty out of my mind. So after all that, I'm like, this is just such a weird experience. Like, I don't know what to say here.
That one. But, yeah. I don't know. I don't know how I got signed up for his emails. Like I think,
you had somebody on.
I either had somebody on or he might have reached out to me either when he got banned or whatever, because he got banned from YouTube and then he had to do his like comeback video for 21 Studios.
And by the way, I don't support anybody being banned, even people I don't like.
Right.
I've been really fucking consistent. So in terms of that, unban them. I don't think anybody should be banned, even people who are the Jack Murphys of the of the world.
And like, so I don't know this guy, but I started getting his emails and they're always, I hate clicking unsubscribe. I don't know if anybody else has that. I usually just block email addresses eventually, but I sometimes get, there's like interesting headlines on his stupid things. So it's like, oh, okay, well, maybe there's content there. Usually not. But when I saw his emails about getting married and then like having having the baby, which came like 3 weeks later after he let the like marriage thing die down. He did the baby thing. I was like, oh, okay, this makes sense. Just embrace it, brother. It's fine. Like, it's okay. Like, you found someone you like them, go for it. But that's, you know, that's me.
Speaking of finding somebody you like, I think we need to do the Lofty Redux this year here. This is a good one. This is actually from your locals, but
oh God,
you know that I think this needs to happen this year. R.I.P.
We'll get him.
Tom.
We'll get him. The silly Lofty.
Oh God.
My favorite part of that picture is Shrimp Faye, the chick who steps on people, in the background, like scowling, like mad that she wasn't stepping on him. That was great. She's hilarious.
She enjoys it way too much. She is great. She's great.
Yeah. Okay, here, back to Governor Pringles. Look at how proud he is. He's like, I fit in this suit still. Imagine being this wide and having to buy an extra wide tie and it's still looking narrow.
Communities Act into law. Some state law enforcement leaders are already refusing to enforce it. The sheriffs in more than a dozen counties, including Kankakee, Grundy, and McHenry, released similarly worded statements Wednesday, saying the assault weapons ban violates the Second Amendment.
Yes.
Kankakee Sheriff Mike Downey writing, therefore, as the custodian of the jail and chief law enforcement official for Kankakee County, neither myself nor my office will be checking to ensure that lawful gun owners register their weapons with the state, nor will we be arresting or housing law-abiding individuals that have been charged solely with non-compliance of this act.
Based.
Basically saying
very based.
That their own reading of the U.S. Constitution trumps the General Assembly's view of the U.S. Constitution.
Yes.
Here you go, cuck. It does. They're the sheriff, motherfucker. That's what they get to do. They're the chief law enforcement officer of the county. Does their jurisdiction ends in many municipalities, but where they have jurisdiction, they are above the state assembly. They're above the governor's orders, and they are the safeguards of the American Constitution. Fuck off, you egghead from Chicago Law School or whatever stupid place you're at. Oh, listen to him.
I mean, and this is the thing. This is the problem. This is why I went over and started teaching for Andrew Branca, because this is what you're learning in law school nowadays, right? Yep. And by the way, I just did my first course, and it was so much fun. Like that was so great. Like just doing something and like having base people in the chat who really are interested in it, and also just teaching it the way I want to teach it, a practical way, because this is a failure to understand. And Nick, I talked to so many lawyers that do not understand how the Constitution works. Mm-hmm. And it blows my mind, because they're just doing what they're told. They're just following, the NPC route, and do not critically think about the Constitution, about our laws, our statutes, and how they're applied.
Well, listen to how this guy fucking listen to the indignation. He thinks his reading of the Constitution trumps the General Assembly's reading. Yeah. You know what? I think mine does too. But the difference between me and the sheriff is the sheriff has the power to not enforce the General Assembly's thing. He is the executive arm of that county, and there's nothing you can do about it. The governor cannot force a sheriff to do something. He's elected. They can impeach him. Like the state house could go through impeachment proceedings on a sheriff. Try it. See what sheriff you get next.
Yeah.
I'm going to stand up for the people's rights. We're going to impeach you for it. Oh, we'll see what sheriff comes next.
Yeah, that PR is going to be absolutely horrible. Although I will say, we need to do better PR of covering these things. That's the one thing that the SJWs, the left, does better, is they have everything just on it, covering it, whereas we're all over the place trying to cover 100 things at once.
Yeah, here, let's finish this out. It's only another minute.
Reflected in the assault weapons ban.
IIT law professor Harold Krent says ultimately this fight will have to be decided by the courts.
Either a decision that the assault weapons ban is inconsistent with the Second Amendment, therefore should not be enforced, or a judgment that it is consistent, in which case the sheriff really has no leg to stand on.
Wrong. The courts cannot force a sheriff to enforce a law. They can't do it. The cops, first of all, I don't know if Egghead Professor here has forgotten Castle Rock versus Gonzalez, but the police have no duty to enforce any particular order at all. They cannot be held liable for non-enforcement. And to say that, well, he has really no leg to stand on. No, he has every leg to stand on so long as he is elected to not enforce. It's amazing. The state may have the power to infringe upon the citizens' rights and their liberty, but the state is never obligated to do so. In fact, a cop can watch you murder someone and let you walk away, and there's nothing anyone can do to stop them or force them to arrest you.
So let me ask you something. How do you feel about district attorneys? I had this conversation with Danny the
hate
other
them.
day. Yeah, but what about them that choose to enforce or not enforce certain laws, right? Like, do you feel like that also applies to them, where they can say, "Hey, this is unconstitutional. I'm not going to enforce this."
So long as it's non-enforcement, I think district attorneys, specifically as elected officials, have that authority to do so. Because I do think part of the democratic process is to allow communities that level of self-governance. And that really happens at the local election level. And so if you're chief law enforcement officers in your district or at your state attorney's office or whatever, if they're running on the campaign of, hey, you know what? We're not going to enforce drug laws. Like, we're just not going to do it. And the community says, yeah, we don't want you to. I mean, who are we to say that that community is wrong on how they carry out their enforcement priorities?
Right.
So I think non-enforcement is fine. I know that gets really controversial on things like illegal immigration and stuff like that.
Because it can go both ways. Because here's the thing. You could say, hey,
Yep.
I'm not going to enforce, I'm not going to enforce this unconstitutional 2A bit. But then they go up, immigration, maybe they go death penalty. I was there in Orlando. We had Hermes Ayala, who's like, I think that the death penalty is not enforceable, right? Now, she's not basing that in the Constitution. She's basing that in wokeness. But, that's the other side of the coin when you have that play out.
But again, if my government says we're not going to pursue killing the citizenry, even if we think they're super guilty, we're going to pursue life without parole. I mean, that's a political decision, and it's an okay thing. What would be much scarier is if the government said, we believe that every felony is prosecutable by death like it used to be. And we're going to pursue the death penalty in every single case to the maximum. We go, okay, well, that might actually violate the Constitution. They say, nah, we read it differently. That's the problem one. The other one is just merely a democratic issue.
But that one is a fictional one where that's never,
right.
That's not going to happen. I mean,
that doesn't happen.
There's enough trouble just with death penalty as is. I mean, you know this. Most death penalty cases, even if they're convicted, are effectively changed to a life in prison. Idaho, for example, the last person they dealt with, they actually had a big deal with this. They couldn't get the drugs, right? The company wouldn't sell them the drugs to give this guy the lethal injection and stop his heart. So
right, which I think a sledgehammer would work at that point. It's fine.
Well, they should be able to go back to it. I'm just saying they should be able to, they're not willing to do that. Okay, we still got old Sparky. We got a rope. We got some bullets, anything that'll help. Speaking of which, we're in an hour. So
I know. I'm going to have to read these super chats and then let's move over to Rumble. Peter Watkins says, did you know there's a little known federal law that allows anyone to buy fully auto weapons to be bought for only $200? Rectify this tragedy by telling your representative to repeal the NFA. Yep, exactly. Let's get rid of that law. For just $200, you can have a machine gun. That's crazy town. Let's repeal that NFA. Jacoby Davis just joined the live stream. Do you have any plans to talk about or do a video on the D&D OGL situation? Yes, I do. Putting together the right people to talk about it. We'll get a full breakdown of it. Jen says retrial of Mark Jensen killing wife with antifreeze in 98. In 98. DA opening statement said dude had 2,200 dick pics to gaslight his wife. Bailiff reaction was golden. Photo chat in the gallery today during testimony. Okay, I had not heard this. Have you heard of some guy 2,200 dick pics to someone? I saw someone in the chat say that he'd saved him up for like 7 years because he caught her cheating or something. So he drops 2,200 dick pics on her, like what, after breaking up or something?
Wow. Holy shit. That's crazy.
That's a lot of penis pictures.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even, that's like a terabyte of dick pics.
How many terabytes of dick pics do you have? Do you do the dick pic thing?
I'm like binders and binders of women over here, like the Mitt Romney, it's just like, no, actually I don't. I do not.
It's kind of strange to me. Like I never got it.
Like, it's not the same level, like the function. Cause I think guys think caveman smash. They think we do thing. They like thing too. And it's like, no, they really don't. The thing is the foreplay and the acts before, and then the actual act of, not the dick pic.
Like I like breasts and stuff, and pictures of them are fantastic. But I feel like I don't know if a penis picture is the same. Like it doesn't. I don't think it functions the same.
No, and more often than not, it's going to be passed around with like they're going to be like, oh, look at the girth on this one or lack thereof. More
Right.
likely.
What if it's just wrapped up with a note that says like I did the dishes?
That's kind of cute. That's kind of
That's
cute.
not a bad idea.
That's a kawaii dick pic. I mean, that might be approved. You know, like you might get a couple oohs from that dick pic. It might be all right.
Oh my God. Okay. DC, welcome to Paralegal
Speaking
Status.
of dick pics, I just see I saw Good Logic in the chat. So Laheim,
I know
some dick pics are circumcised, some are not.
Joe says, meh, that just means it hasn't worked for y'all. Okay, the quest to find Joe's dick pic is now on.
They're out there. They're on J-Date somewhere. Someone out there on J-Date. Find me Joe's dick pic.
We know it was. It was the guy on the beach.
Send me Joe's. It was the guy on the Israeli beach. We know that. But send me Joe's dick pic.
The guy on the all-male Israeli beach is like, yeah, I got a picture of Joe's penis. He sent me a couple of them. Grifty says, retweet my Twitter poll. I slid it in your DMs. I'll have to look at it later. Corrections 101 says, Nikki has small shoulders, but still based. That's true. I don't argue with facts. Aaron M says, legal mindset. Will you come to Hong Kong to help me kill my whiskey collection? I need someone to help me save my liver.
It's on my list whenever the rules are not ridiculous. I'll be in Singapore for a bit right before the trials start. And so Hong Kong's on my list. One of the cities I want to go see.
There you go. Oh, Nicholas Cruiser says Joe has no skin in the game.
That is with malice, a foreskin thought.
That was an excellent joke. That's fucking amazing. Jen says, Judge in Jensen. Scale on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 is Borowski and 1 is Judge Mommy. This guy is an 8 or 9. Okay, see, now I'm interested.
Wait, which? Oh,
that's the dude with that's the judge in the dick pic murder case. Apparently he killed his wife with antifreeze in 98. God, what a shit way to go. That stuff will mess you up. Skyrim 96 says Tree of Liberty must be refreshed with the blood of patriots and tyrants. From time to time with the blood of patriots and tyrants. Legal Vices says, yeah, screw the stupid losers that use only mobile devices for payment and don't carry their wallets or credit cards when they go out, right, Andrew?
This freaking gamer word, insert gamer word here, I cannot say right now. This motherfucker does, whenever we hang out, every single time, he not only forgets any form of card currency, like seriously, but he forgets his fucking ID. He doesn't carry his ID. The man has no identification.
What? Is there any question that the man is the drinking age in Korea 21 or 18?
Yes, you can't tell. They all look the same. He's been long in here enough. He's transformed. He all looks the same.
He just looks Korean now.
Yes. Yes. It smells like kimchi. I can't confirm. Can't confirm.
They just do the sniff test. Kimchi confirmed.
You could come in.
Twisted Tragedy. The GoFundMe for Hogue Law is up now. You wanted someone to tell you when there was one, so just in case you haven't seen it, I figured I would mention it. It's called Reasonable Minds Can Rebuild. Yes, and I'll be talking about that over the next several days. It'll probably be like a recurring thing. It really sucks to see what Hogue is going through, and definitely want to offer some support to him and his family. Probably do that. I'll probably hit that harder on tomorrow's show. When I'll make a donation and all that stuff. Crusader Saracen says, this is why they want federal police force. Yep. 200 Watt Studio says, great stream with P-Dog today. Hey, thank you. I had a good time. Cult of Personality. Can you explain how the U.S. Constitution tackles non-enforcement? It doesn't. The long story short, the Supreme Court has basically said that the executive cannot be compelled to act in a specific way. Whoever the executive is cannot be compelled. It's a separation of powers. They have a duty to attempt to faithfully enforce the laws that Congress or the General Assembly or whoever puts forward, but you can't force them to do it in a particular way at all. Congress doesn't have that authority to force the executive to act. What they can do is say, here is the law. You have the enforcement arm, tackle it as you will. That's why, and I know people don't like this, That's why Obama was able to effectively ignore immigration law, say we're not going to deal with it, and effectively ignore marijuana enforcement at the federal level, which marijuana is still very illegal at the federal level. Yet you have tons of states with full on unlawful marijuana trade going on.
But Nick, don't you think it's past the point of no return on marijuana, and especially like from a policy standpoint, both for Democrats and in terms of even Republican states that now allow us medical? I think it's gone past the point where if the feds all of a sudden tomorrow, if Biden administration said we're just cracking down on banks, even if the banks were in conservative states, and say we're cracking down on banks because they're holding pot money, I think the blowback against that, the PR against that would destroy them. I don't think they'll actually do it.
The PR would be bad, and there would be a case to argue that there at least needs to be like a wind down time of the policy, that the government has clearly communicated a policy change, and that needs to be done in a way that would allow people to prepare for federal intervention. I mean, we've seen this before where you can't just undo a law, and the Supreme Court will step in and say, no, sorry, the government's been acting in this way. You kind of have to keep going. You have to kind of keep going this way, at least for a while, give public commentary and a nice window of time for people to adjust their behavior. So, but I do think it's past the public policy. That's why I think they should just make it legal. Federally.
Yeah, at this point, you're just missing out on potentially tax revenue and, other venues you could drop on it. Just drop it. I mean, they need money,
and you're still making it somewhat unsafe, right? Like, because carrying it across state lines can still get you in a lot of trouble. And that then still creates a black market from one state to the next.
Technically flying too. Yeah. Flying at any point,
you're technically not supposed to bring like vape pens and stuff that have THC products onto an airplane, because once you enter the airport, you're in federal land and it's illegal. Even if it was legal right outside the doors, you're technically not allowed to do that. Now, I don't think they enforce that very heavily, because I know people who vape, who do weed vapes and fly with them all the time.
Oh yeah, no, I can neither confirm nor deny that, when things are unmarked and there's nothing on it, right? They're not going to waste even if they find it, even if they open the bag and look at it, they will not bother testing it. They don't have the capacity to test things like that.
Yeah. And it would take way too long to test everyone's vape to find out. And they're really looking for guns and explosives. Actually, let's be honest. They're not looking for anything. They're looking for you to think that they're looking for guns and explosives, so you feel safe. They know that the reality of guns and explosives being on planes is really low anyway. It's a pretty safe proposition that you're not gonna get hit with this stuff. But they just want you to feel safe. But yeah, non-enforcement is really a non-issue in the Constitution. That's a political issue. That's for votes. And that's the political question that has to be answered by the voting populace. Aaron M, legal mindset. It's all open here now, including mainland China's border. Fucking terrible.
That's a problem. I'm going to be real with you right now, Nick. The Chinese flood is real. Like before and after COVID, and like a lot of people are getting sick again right now. It's very, very, very interesting. So we'll see if this is going to be another, hopefully it's not a repeat of some of the past bullshit we've seen.
Yeah, hopefully not. God damn. I don't think I could do another COVID. I'll pick up a machete.
Here's the good thing. I don't think it's going to happen in America. I mean, I retweeted that interview Patrick that David had with Neil deGrasse Tyson. Like, there's still people standing and pretending what Fauci said wasn't a pack of lies. But I think at this point, at least the Republicans, at least in America, right? Republicans, at least in America,
we hope
they've at least, I don't think they could cuck for it and win an election. I don't think they could shut down the economy again and win an election, because that was shown to have not worked. I mean, if you believe they could, let me know.
Unless the Republicans vocally, vehemently oppose it, have a couple retirees or whatever support it, pass it, and then use that as the platform to run against the Democrats in the next election. Because the Democrats shut down the economy. That's my fear.
So you mean, okay, so the most Republicans oppose it, but a couple of the retirees, like just a handful, side with the Democrats, vote in a Democratic bill, right?
Yeah.
They go away. Yeah, that absolutely could happen. I mean,
That would be a
absolutely.
fucking. So they lock it down again for the purposes of allowing the Democrats to fall in the sword of a next lockdown. What a fucking disaster that would be.
Establishment, another establishment W. It's possible.
Yeah.
That is possible. I would believe that.
Then his final chat says, should I kill my $500 Redbreast 17 bottle or my 250 Blanton's Gold bottle? Kill the Blanton's Gold. Do it.
Sounds good.
Do it. Okay. Speaking of Blanton's Gold, I mean, I think everybody knows what's coming. Do you have any gold, Andrew?
Oh, I do indeed have gold, and I think it's quite shiny. It's quite great. I mean, some might even call me Smaug, but you know, it's not financial advice.
There you go. And I have birchgold.com/knows. This is how you can get information on how you can buy gold and silver. And look, their main focus is to help you get gold and silver into your IRA or your 401k, your qualified accounts, so you can hold these physical assets as a hedge against inflation. As I talked about yesterday, S&P down 30% for 2022. Dow Jones down like 17% for 2022. That money is gone. It's wiped out. Now you have to have years and years to recover back to where you were before you start earning again. Hedging part of your investment into gold and silver you'd have to look. I don't know. I'm just a guy. You'd have to look, but that might have helped curb some of the loss that some people sustain. That's what gold and silver are here to do. They're not here to earn you a bunch of money. They're here to protect the money that you have, that you worked your whole life for. Birch Gold will also help you just buy little cool coins and dollars and things that, like Andrew just showed, that you can hold for yourself outside of qualified accounts. If that's what you want to do, they have all options on the table. So what you do, birchgold.com/knows, click on this green button right next to Rekieta Law, and they'll get you the information you need. I don't know if it's the right thing for you. I don't know at all. I'm just a humble streamer. They're the ones with all the info. You're the only person who can make the decision. They just want to give you that information so you make the decision that is best for you by being the most informed. So check out my good friends at Birch Gold. I love them. They tolerate my shitty ad reads and don't get mad at me when I tell jokes. And so, yeah, I'd appreciate if you guys click that green button and get the information for yourselves. Birchgold.com/knows. And with that, I'm going to play the Rumble outro. We're going to go over to Rumble, guys, and things might get a little saucier. I'm going to pour a drink. Are you drinking today?
Yeah, I've got my beer right here. So now I've got another one in the fridge. So I'm ready to go.
Okay, let's do. Oh, Cars in Depth says check your PO box on Friday for laser edge stuff. To the YouTube audience, the Rumble link is in the description. Pop on over to Rumble. Let's fucking go. Peace.
For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen,